Hi, my name is Pam Middleton, and I am hosting this call tonight along with my new dear friend, Holly Wright. And I'm going to introduce her sooner, in a few minutes. So we're just going to take the time and I'm just going to take time and introduce myself a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and introduce Holly and we'll get started. So who are we and why are we on this call? Well, first I want to just say welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone calling in from around the world. Those of you who don't know,
this show right here.
can you guys mute yourself, please? I see some people who aren't muted yet. If you don't know how, it's just thank you. Yeah. Oh, so if you could help me get the people muted, I would greatly appreciate it. And Holly, I'm going to make you a co-host too, so you can help manage
with
the group. Yes, please. That would be super helpful. Oh, I already made you a host. Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, thank you guys all for being here. As I mentioned, we are a company that is in multiple countries. So I just wanted to welcome you all, whether it is evening for you or it could be even tomorrow morning, or for some of you, it's still daytime. So for those of you on this call from around the world, good afternoon. And my name is Pam Middleton. I am a retired nurse. I had the pleasure of working in the largest HMO in the world as a department manager, and given the opportunity to retire a little earlier, I was overweight. I had weight issues, but in addition to that, I had a high A1C, and I had other issues that needed to be addressed, and I was looking for a solution to getting that all to dealing with all that. So what I found was an amazing program that literally I found just 10 days after I retired from nursing. So who are we and why are we on this call? Well, we're on this call. Maybe you have a friend that invited you. It could be Dr. Holly, who has put on a ton of people on this call. And I really am going to let her talk shortly. Or you could be on this call because you were like me and you were suffering from high A1C and cholesterol issues and had addictions to foods and stuff, caffeine, chocolate, etc. Pardon me? Who's talking?
You're good. It's
okay.
People coming in.
Sorry. So maybe you were like me, but maybe you're just here because you just have gotten started on the skinny drops, or you have no idea what these skinny drops are that we're going to be talking about, and you want to hear a little bit more about them. But no matter why, this is me, and this is what happened. So literally 7 years ago, I was introduced to this program because I had all those issues. And literally 4 months later, I had lost 45 pounds, 13% body fat, and knew that I had done something that had to be shared with the world. And I chose to share these skinny drops, with everybody I came in contact with, and it turned into a business for me. But that may not be your story. Maybe you have other issues, but what is this company and who are we? We are the Warrior Movement. We're a group of people who never even knew each other. We came together during the pandemic because we were all using these skinny drops. We all knew James, who brought us into this program, and we sat there and tried to figure out how to talk to people and share what we were doing from around the world. So total strangers who soon became friends. And before the pandemic was over with, we absolutely consider ourselves a family. And we're partnered with Partner Co., which is the company that houses all of our products. Why these products? Why these skinny drops? What makes these different from any other weight loss program on the market? And what makes us
No,
different,
you
what makes us different is that our products are in the physician's desk reference. That to me as a nurse means a lot because it means that we can share these products with doctors. Doctors can look at many of our Nutrify line and they actually can see how there's nothing in there. They're homeopathic, they're cruelty free. There's nothing in our products that would harm people. So the only people that can't take these skinny drops, just so you'll know, are pregnant and nursing moms or is about it. So otherwise, these drops, because they're all natural, they don't interfere with medications or anything else. But the other one that really stands out, this company doesn't just have one certification or two certifications. We have all of these certifications. They've been tested by over 30 physicians. We've had clinical trials done on our products. We've done everything we can to make sure that this product is good and will work for you no matter what. What else I like about this product is bottle number one, it really helps to control your hormones. For those of us who maybe have thyroid issues or other issues, they're homeopathic, they control appetite, they're of course gluten-free. And I love that. And then and how do you take these, you might ask? You just have a little dropper, you put it underneath your tongue, you hold them for 10 seconds, you take bottle number one 3 times a day before your 3 meals, and bottle number 2 just before breakfast and lunch. Bottle number 2 has adaptogenic herbs, it supports our metabolism. This is the only product that I know of that not only goes after the stored fat in our body, it is not a weight loss, this is not a diet, you are not D-I-E, we're not dieting, we are going after stored fat. And I don't know another product that really triggers that without going through and having a surgery or something more crazy like that. But it also really helps with your mood. And I know people who, like myself, who don't need to lose more weight, but we love how it makes us feel not jittery, not nervous or anything like that. Just having that clean, natural energy. And we don't ever want to stop taking our skinny drops. But it's meant to be taken with eating whole foods. As I tell people all the time, if you've ever read scripture and you know what, if you've ever read scripture and heard about the Garden of Eden, if God created the food and put it in the Garden of Eden for us, it's safe for us to eat. So we just want to get rid of the preservatives. Our air, water, and soil has changed so much over time. We just want to put the cleanest of the cleanest products into our body and eat whole foods. We don't have to count calories and we can enjoy everything on our approved food list. I was introduced by Mary Jo. She's in that top left-hand corner. That's a lady who lost 80 pounds in 4 months. But you can see from these pictures, and when I saw her transformation, I'm like, if she can lose it and looks that good, then I know that this product is good for me. So if you know people with the dad bods, whether you know people that are thin, and maybe their muscles just haven't popped out, like the second picture in the middle row, the first picture in the middle row. Ava, she was able to really have those muscles show because they're hidden underneath all that visceral fat that we have. But this is one of my friends, Gabriel. I really like his picture. You can just see, like, this is him. He again had that stored fat on his body, and I love that you could see he lost 15 pounds in 10 days just using these crazy skinny drops. So it's incredible. And some people, they really they look good. You wonder why they would take it. Well, they have non-scale victories. This is a young lady who had GI issues. She had IBS. She had gastritis. So it's still, she has that little gut, but you can see that when she was on the product, not only did that gut go away, but she's no longer taking medications. So our drops, they don't cure, treat, or diagnose. We don't diagnose as healthcare coaches, but we do know that once you go back, you don't never stop taking your medication. But once you go back to your doctor and he sees your results, they generally can take you off of it, including people who've had high A1Cs like me. So I would love for all of you who are new to this call to join our Facebook group. And Tammy, if you could put it in the chat room, that would be super helpful, so that people can reach out to us. This Facebook group allows you to ask questions. You can it allows you to ask questions. We have recipes in there. We have other products that you can see. We actually talk about what those products are and how they can help you for a multiple of different issues.
Mhm.
Before I go further on, I want to introduce you to my dear friend, my near dear friend, Holly Wright, who is a clinical psychologist. She comes from South Dakota. She has had an amazing life, a 20-year career. But more importantly from that, I'm going to allow Holly to share her story because it is truly amazing. Dr. Wright, if you're ready, I am ready for you.
Sure. Sure. We'll see if my view and screens changes here. I'm always messing with Zoom, but yes, thank you for that introduction, Pam. I'm Dr. Holly Reich. I need to change so I can see some people here. There we go.
Go ahead. Mhm.
There we go. Okay. I'm Dr. Holly Reich, and I can talk. I literally talk all day and listen all day. So I know I will try to keep this down. I have about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll turn it back over to Pam. But yes, Holly Reich, I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. I have been in the mental health field for 20 years. Currently, we live back in our hometown of South Dakota. Grew up in South Dakota and went away for schooling, as many of us do, right? We leave our small town. I went to school in Iowa area for my undergrad, and then to Chicagoland for my master's and doctorate. And as a part of your doctorate, you do a 1-year residency. And at the time, there was a fantastic Air Force recruiter who talked to me about the ability to do your residency in the Air Force. At that time, that sounded fantastic and exciting. So I went into the Air Force and finished my clinical psychology degree there. And one of the things that I loved about that is the Air Force is really at the top of something we call clinical health psychology. And what that is, it's the integration of psychology and the medical world. The medical world is going this direction where we're having mental health providers in hospitals, in with your primary care physicians, because we know so much of health is related to our mindset and our daily habits. And so I got a lot of training again on the integration of psychology and medicine. And then I agreed to stay in the Air Force as a clinical psychologist in the Air Force for 3 years after that, and had some really fun adventures working in large medical centers. And at one point got deployed overseas to the Middle East. And in 2011, I found myself the only mental health professional for a base of 4,000 service members. And worked around the clock for about 8, 9 months at that time. Shortly after, I started to notice some health issues of my own, significant fatigue. We know that there can be a cascade effect that happens with the stress response. One of my favorite books is Robert Sapolsky. It is entitled Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. Zebras are in a stress response, but they quickly go out of it and go about their way after they don't get eaten by the lion or tiger or whatever's chasing them, and they go back to chewing the grass. Not us humans, right? We continue to think through what we coulda, shoulda, woulda done, what's coming next. Not only that, we of course know, all of us here who are on this call, we also know how our bodies are constantly also under attack because of the foods that we eat. Our body likes real foods, like Pam alluded to, the ones that God gave us, and we are stressing our bodies out. What are you putting into my body? This is not real food. So for most of us, right, we're 18, 19, 20, we're doing just fine. That takes its toll. Eating our modern day diet over time. Again, I think I have another video that I created at one point. One of my favorite phrases is, we are not eating the way Ma and Pa ate in Little House on the Prairie, right? So that takes a toll on us, as well as just our human response to stress. So, long story short, I ended up developing polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is quite common in females. Struggled with, I'll just be honest, infertility. I started to grow a beard. I knew my hormones are not in check. Something wild is happening. And now PCOS is one of the most common conditions among young women. And it's actually one of the least understood. So around that time, we ended up separating from the Air Force. We were working on starting our family. We moved back home. And since then, I have been in private practice, and I own a group practice of 7, soon to be 8 clinicians, and provide general mental health counseling. But again, I've kind of always had this clinical health psychology background. And so I work with a lot of people on managing daily health habits. So although this is my education and my training, like I said, it's been a personal focus of mine as well, to figure out how to help myself and my hormones and my body to get balanced. Because I quickly found out that traditional Western medicine doesn't always have easy answers for us. I have the utmost respect for traditional medicine and MDs, and they are the first to note themselves. We know Dr. Strand. Many of us have heard his story out in Rapid City. He is the first to say most traditional Western medical doctors do not get a lot of training on holistic healthcare. It's not their focus. It's not meant to be. They are treating diseases. The medical field has come a long way. We now have DOs, or doctors of osteopathic medicine, that have a little bit more training in holistic approaches and supplementation. And again, we also have the new route of functional medicine providers. But that's really, honestly, within the last 10 years or so that we're also looking at more prevention. And it's because diseases are continuing to grow. They are becoming too unmanageable too quickly for our traditional medical doctors to intervene. They have tools in their toolbox for us, but it is pharmaceutical medication and surgery. Once you're to that level, that's what they've got. So we need to be in the preventative mindset. So that's where I have been. That's my world, is working with people on a daily basis to work on improving their daily habits, their daily mindset, their daily choices, sleep, nutrition, activity levels, all of those things, and managing their stress, because we know that that's a huge part of our overall health. So like I said, I've been about hormone balancing, body balancing, managing my own nutrition through whole foods and superfoods, and then working with a lot of people to do the same. One of the other things that I do in my career is doing a lot of psychological evaluations for people who require bariatric surgery. And so I have sat across from so many people who just would love to get the message out, right? Take care of your health, do what you can, make the healthy choices, focus on whole foods and nutrition and daily activities. Find something on a daily path that allows you to make healthier choices every day. And that's so difficult because of our food addictions, and also just that cascade effect that it can get harder and harder to implement changes over time. So again, I've kind of always kept my eye open to kind of natural routes, and what's working for people. So the beauty of social media is, you connect with lots of people over the years, and my good friend Lindsay had posted about these drops that were hormone balancing. You think my ears and eyes didn't see hormone and think, oh my goodness, yes, I want to know all the things. So I reached out to her, and I did a quick dive into Dr. Hertz videos, which I think most, if you're on here, maybe have heard them. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend that. Dr. Vance, who is a chiropractor and also into holistic healthcare, has a fabulous video and story, and her own success story specifically with these drops, but also kind of general holistic Partnical products. And then Dr. Strand has had several as one of the main medical officers of this company now. So I dove into learning what they were sharing. They have done clinical trials on these drops. So, for all of us science nerds, right, they were double blind, placebo controlled, all the good things that we want to see. And they found that people that were taking these drops were having twice as much weight loss success than diet and exercise alone. That's phenomenal. Why? We look at the ingredients. We can get you the ingredients lists, but it does come down to the complementary ingredients that are in both of the bottles that work together synergistically to truly balance our body and our hormones. So I don't know if we want to go into that much, Pam. How are we doing on time? I don't want to get into the weeds too much because people can look at their own ingredients, but I will say a few things with the first set of drops. I think, let me look at some of my notes here. One of the first things I think is really important and why these make such a difference is we are decreasing our appetite and our cravings. And that's something someone notices really within the first few days. Why is this important? Obviously, we can then make better health choices. We're not ravenous at 2 a.m., at 4 p.m. when we get that natural energy slump to just grab all those unhealthy foods. One of the programs we had back in the day in the Air Force was we would get people who were on the naughty list because they didn't pass their physical fitness exam. Why? Well, they didn't run the time in the certain amount of time, push-ups, sit-ups, but the military also measures waist circumference. That is one of the number one indicators of health. This is why you keep hearing toxic fat. And anyway, and in this program, one of the, we would help people kind of set goals, improve their nutrition. Dietitians were a part of this program for weight loss, but certainly mental health. And one of the things we always talked about is when you have a food addiction, if you can delay, you have a better chance at making a better choice. That is significant. And then you can replace. So if we can delay, we can replace and make a healthier choice at every snack time, at every meal. So that is significant with these first set of drops. Also, we're seeing that increase. Everyone that I know has started these, and myself included, we noticed the energy within the first few weeks, right? If anyone's listening, raise your hand if you've noticed the energy, if you're taking drops.
Yeah, put it too in the chat if you feel energy from taking these incredible drops. Dr. Holly, that was amazing. You really took a deep dive into some of the benefits of the drops, and I love how you just did a really good job of that, and also just sharing what it meant to you. And I understand I've had PCOS. I know what that's like, and many people But one of the key things I took away is gastric bypass. That's crazy. And that's what you work in. If
Right.
you know anybody, you guys are doing a disservice to them if you don't talk to them about doing these drops before going under that knife and doing that surgery. I know there's several of you on the call. I saw your comments. You know what it's like going through it. Don't let someone you love and care about do it. I have a girlfriend now who just started on the drops because she needs to lose 40 pounds before she can have the surgery. I'm like, how about we do this and see how fast you can lose that
Right.
weight? And maybe you just don't need that surgery. So
Right.
that is
And
just-
I will say too, because once you have the surgery, actually what people find afterwards is significant nutrient deficiencies and fatigue. Now, there's a time and a place, right? But if we can do things holistically, that's always the best bet. And these drops give you the energy, the decreased appetite. We didn't even get into how they work on your metabolism, how they decrease inflammation. So I started sharing these before I even got them myself. Within my first 6 weeks, I was down 6 pounds, and I'm at a healthy weight to start with, so I didn't need to lose weight. But again, I started sharing them with my friends and some of people I know on social media and clients, and their success stories in their first 4 weeks are phenomenal.
Yes. Thank you so very much. I'm going to just wrap it up. You're a true blessing to us. So thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to take you back as we talked about those drops and just share one last thing. For those of you who aren't on the drops yet, I just wanted to let you know, can you see my screen?
It's still loading,
No,
but
it's still loading.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it says it's paused. Okay, well, I just want to let you know that there is an opportunity to talk to the person who brought you on this call tonight, whoever that person is. You can purchase, if you're not on the drops already, you want to go ahead and just make that first initial person, but talk to the person who brought you on the call. And if you are on the call, I would just want to encourage you to join us tomorrow night, because tomorrow night we're going to have Sean and some other people sharing a Brittany, who's going to share how you can actually make money from these skinny drops, which I'm sure Dr. Holly could share with you equally as well.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to talk about that. We're saving that call for tomorrow night. So 6 p.m., the same Zoom link. Please come join us to hear how you can get these drops. If money is an issue, we can help you get these drops for free. So thank you so much, Dr.
Thanks,
Holly. And yeah, it's been a pleasure.